What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. So we've got the Gladiator just chilling over here. We've been going hard on the Gladiator content, but not today. Today we're going to be talking about the X5. So I've done a couple of videos talking about my wife's X5 in the past, but today we're getting ready to say goodbye to the X5 because I've actually already sold it. I figured what I would do today, because I find this informative if I'm thinking about buying a vehicle, is just run through the overall operating costs that I've had for this X5, that I've owned it for these last 2 years, just so you guys have a general idea of kind of what that costs. So I've actually sold the X5, I've traded it off for something new. That new car actually gets delivered tomorrow, so I'll be doing a video covering that, so look for that coming soon. I figured what I would do today is go through the actual running costs that it's cost me to own this X5 for the last 2 years. So I see a lot of these videos on YouTube. I find them to be informative if I'm considering buying a vehicle. So, I just want to run through those and share that with you guys. All right, we're sitting here in the X5. Like I said, I bought this thing in 2019. The purchase price at the time, the MSRP ended up being around like $65,000. This is a very base X5, practically no options on it. So the MSRP was around $65,000. Ended up getting the purchase price down to about $62,000 at the time. Now, usually with when you're buying something like this, a new luxury SUV, your biggest cost is definitely going to be depreciation. Because you look at one of these used 2 or 3 years later, you're looking at getting it at about half the price of what it is new. So that will definitely be your biggest cost, is depreciation. Now, given the current state of the market, with the chip shortage and the used car prices being super high compared to what they would normally be, I got very lucky on this, and I ended up getting out of it, and I just traded this in for about $56,000. So that's a total depreciation cost of $6,000 over 2 years. That's $3,000 a year to drive this brand new X5. Which my guess is I got extremely lucky. I don't count on that ever happening again in my lifetime, that I would be able to, get in and out of something like this, a luxury SUV, for that kind of cost. Now, the reason there's such a big difference between, a new one and a used one is, if you look at like a BMW dealership or a Mercedes dealership, they're really building in that premium dealership experience. When we bought this, we got a giant bag of just like BMW goodies. But all of that, it's built into the costs up front. So when you're buying used, you're not paying for that anymore. So the other major cost when it comes to these luxury vehicles that, people don't want to pay is maintenance. And the maintenance on these can be quite expensive if you have an older one and it's out of warranty. So that's why they also depreciate so fast. And you can pick up a used one for fairly cheap. Now, coming to maintenance costs, when I bought this, all of the maintenance was included for the first few years. So I've done 2 oil changes, and that has cost me exactly $0. So as far as just general service, I paid $0 for that so far. So nothing in the running cost as far as that goes. Now, one of these cars, brand new, comes with a 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty. And I believe you can extend that with BMW all the way up to like 7 years and 100,000 miles. Which, if you're looking to get one of these and plan to keep it for a long time, that's definitely something worth looking into, because the electronics on these things can be very complicated, and if something does go wrong out of warranty, it can be extremely expensive to repair. So through the course of 2 years ownership, I've had exactly one issue with this. They had to replace the electrical harness for the driver's side lower. There's an airbag like down by your leg, down by like the pedals. They had to replace that wiring harness because there was a short or something there. This was in the shop for actually a week. It took them a while to get parts. Actually had to take the entire dash out to get in there and make that change. So I'm guessing if I was out of warranty and I had to actually pay out of pocket for the repair, it would have been pretty pricey just for all the labor of pulling the entire dash out, going through, and replacing that part. So, but like I said, I'm still under warranty, so also $0 for repairs as far as that goes. So the next cost I want to add to the total is the cost to insure this vehicle. And I know this differs greatly from state to state, and depending on your age and also your driving record. So I live in Kansas. This cost me right about $900 a year to insure, which is not too terrible. I go through State Farm. I've kind of shopped around, and that seems to be a really good rate as far as this vehicle goes. So the only other major cost I want to add to the total is the cost to tag this thing. In the state of Kansas, that cost me about $1,100 a year. So that's between that and the insurance cost, that adds up to somewhere around $2,000 a year. And the depreciation cost, the total cost for me to run this for 2 years per year has ended up being around $5,000, which, for a brand new luxury SUV, I've gotten extremely lucky as far as that cost goes. So like I said, the new car gets delivered tomorrow and the X5 is going away. We're going to be a little sad to see the X5 go. We've really enjoyed it. It's very just a nice, luxurious vehicle. It's quick enough to be fun to get around. But got to tell you guys, what really ruined me for this X5 is while this was in the shop getting some repairs done a while back, they actually gave me a loaner, and the loaner was an X3M competition. And, this car is great. It's quick. You bump that up to that X3M competition, has over 500 horsepower. It's really powerful. The exhaust from the factory, it burbles, and it just sounds really awesome. And the performance of that thing was insane for, just a little luxury SUV, carbon fiber everywhere. So then when I get back in this, it's like, well, not so exciting. So I've always wanted to get an M car. That's been a real dream of mine. I've mentioned it, in some of my previous videos, which, no one has watched and no one should watch because they were terrible. But but yeah, I'm really excited to share with you guys what's next while I still have the X5. Just wanted to make a quick video and kind of go over some things with that before we said goodbye to it and welcome the next member of the Dream Garage to the fleet. So that comes tomorrow. I could not be more excited. I'll be sharing content about that with you guys. So be on the lookout for that coming up soon. So I think that just about does it. That wraps it up for our topic today. As always, appreciate you guys watching to the end. Really appreciate the support of the channel and the growth we've seen here recently. There are lots of big things coming soon, and I could not be more excited to share with you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.